Alright, we're going to release the brakes, and we're going to go flying here. We are down in Miami, Florida. We are in a C-130. We're about to hit some stairs and a wall. We're going, oh my gosh, ground equipment, holy cow. Alright, pretend you didn't see that. We're going to go chase a hurricane. Now, this is a freeware C-130. It actually comes with P3D. But I have a few panel enhancements that I've been able to add on here. But this is, I'll be honest with you, the second time I've been in this aircraft, and so we're just learning the ins and outs, how it flies. We are gonna just do a very simple flight route. We're gonna go direct out to Freeport, and then we're gonna try to find the Hurricane Dorian. We have no air traffic. We're not flying on VATSIM. We just are just trying to get a feel for what this plane can do and have a little fun in the in the meantime. So yeah, I don't even know. I've just put a notch of flaps down. I have no idea where that's even indicated. We're very new to this aircraft. I do have a little bit of information tuned in. I have Freeport tuned in. That's where we're going to be trying to head. And then there's Dorian just right to the east. So we get to Freeport. We're going to try to fly fairly well due east and just see if we can fly right through the hurricane. See what that see what the eye of the hurricane looks like, and maybe we'll come back around kind of the edge of the storm and just kind of check it out. And with any luck, we'll be able to get right back into Miami. Now, this part here looks pretty nasty as well. This is more just the, I think the precip, but weather conditions here in Miami, at least right now, aren't too bad. We've got, pull the active sky over here for you. We've got winds 290 at 7, but we do have, you know, turbulence heavy. So expecting to get bounced around a little bit. Have no idea how the plane's going to respond, but what better way to learn your aircraft than flying into a hurricane, right? What could go wrong? Taking off runway 26. Again, I don't even know what V speeds are here. I am just, this is old school flight sim days where you just hop in and you go. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, roll and start. Hopefully we're not gonna blow anything up here. Feels like I'm tipping over almost here. Alright. Managed to get it airborne. That's step one. Gear will come up. Bring the flaps up here as well. And yeah, we're flying, boys and girls. Gotta head the other way though. This is definitely a plane that I wanted to learn more about. I'm actually a part of a virtual it's not really a virtual airline, but a virtual group called the Virtual U.S. Air Force, and I'm trying to learn. This is one of the planes that I'm getting trained on here, but have not really started the training just yet. I've got kind of checklists and procedures and things like that, but all I've really been able to do time-wise to this point is this kind of stuff. Get in and fly and just get a feel for how it handles, and where the knobs and switches are, and what works and what doesn't. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. In fact, I'm not sure where the autopilot is. So we're going to pretty much be hand flying this baby. I see I do have a VOR set, so we'll see if that I'm able to intercept that or not. Appears that I would be a little bit right, of course, at this point in time. But this is kind of, I like this stuff. I don't do this stuff often enough. I try to sometimes, do a little too much in terms of, official flights and that, that kind of stuff. And not very often do you just hop in and go. And maybe this guy just isn't quite tuned in yet. I don't think actually it's working. So our heading is approximately 67 degrees. So kind of a northeasterly track here is what we want, and we want to gain some altitude. I think the tops of this storm are 50,000 foot plus. Part of what I'm also interested in is to just see what active sky, how it renders the storm. I don't know. I've never flown into a storm, so I'm curious to see, like I say, what it looks like. So learning all the way around, I guess, is what I'm saying. Let's take a look at right now, climbing through 3,000. We're climbing, we're losing altitude. I'm just on the trim again. I'm just completely hand flying this thing. Already getting bumped around a little bit. Does look like that's trying to tune in a little bit here. All right. Oh boy. This is a clicky knob, not a spinny knob. So those are, again, the little things that you try to learn here as you fly. I'd like to just maintain about an ascent rate of 1,000 to 2,000 feet. I don't want to get crazy here. We'll monitor, just make sure, keep things in the green, which we are, and keep things generally on this VOR, which looks like we are as well. So I expect we'll hit a lot of weather and turbulence and all that stuff as we go. Yeah, we're already really starting to see some significant clouds. There is a pretty good part of this storm that's just right around Miami, and so I think, yeah, that's kind of what you're seeing right now. But so far, pretty stable, honestly. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, climbing through 3,000. This is weird. Oh, this is my speed. I'm sorry. 260 knots. I'm a little bit quick here, because I'm still under 10,000. I'm 8,400, but I can live with that. That's okay. At this point in time, I'm in the neighborhood, climbing at 1,000. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Yeah, excited to learn more about this plane for sure. Um, it's been one that I've really been curious about ever since I had my first job teaching, which happened in Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is home to Warren Air Force Base. And my grade school football team that I coached, our practice field was right at the end of one of the runways, and so we had C-130s flying in and out and over our heads, sometimes all practice long. And so they're just neat, very versatile aircraft to say the least. All right, so it's 93 miles, and okay, we do have a DME, so this is counting down. That's good. Course is set. Heading is I'm a little bit looks like right of course. Yeah, all this stuff. Oh, it looks like maybe here is autopilot mode. Well, let's just. What happens here if we turn that on? Heading mode. Does it do anything? Oh well, there's my headings clear out. Thank goodness it didn't do anything, because I'm way off. Alright, I'm tracking the VOR here. Go on off. Doesn't look like that really does a whole heck of a lot for me. Yeah, like I say, pretty much just flying and having fun today, but looks like some decent sort of build up out there. And I don't have active sky cloud art or anything like that. I just have regular active sky, whatever it is for P3D, whatever the latest version of active sky is. So I'm expecting quite a bit of the precip and turbulence, things like that. I just don't know how well the clouds, how high they're going to be rendered, and if they're going to look like a hurricane or what. So we will keep a little bit of an eye on the map as well. Here's kind of the first band of junk that we're running into, and we'll keep coming back to that as we go. It does look like maybe, oh, that's TCAS. I thought maybe that would be, there probably is a weather radar in this thing. I don't know for sure. Speed's holding pretty good right now. We're climbing at 1,500 feet per minute. We're through 14,000. I need to come around a little bit here, because a little bit right, of course. I think I just saw my first lightning pop down there. Expect to see a lot more of that as we go. It shouldn't be too long before we find ourselves in the middle of this hurricane. But so far so good. Nice handling plane. Like the sounds. Really, the cockpit itself looks pretty nice. There are a few things, obviously, the panel here is not really modeled. You have to click on it, pops up the 2D, and then you can tune all this stuff here. That's where we have I don't even know what I'm tuned into, nothing. And then that's our Freeport VOR, and then this will be what we use to kind of lead ourselves home, hopefully, when it's all said and done. I do have a little bit of a panel down here I haven't looked at too closely. Yeah, most of this stuff not operable. Yeah. Hope wherever you're at today, your Sunday is super fun and relaxing, and you're hanging out with your family and you're planning something good to eat for lunch. I think the Mrs. First Officer is going to be making a run for some takeout. So I'm looking forward to that here in a little bit. And then I'm looking forward to a nap today. It's Sunday. I haven't had kind of that good Sunday nap in like a long time. So wait till the hurricane chasing is done, and then I'll probably need a nap. We'll see how long we last here. All right, climbing through 18,000. Do I have my altimeter? Yes, I do. Let's spin that. Okay, one thing that's going to take some getting used to is I don't use my scroll wheel here. I use left and right arrows to adjust that, so that's cool. Okay, still climbing, 1,000 foot per minute. We're not in a huge hurry. We're still making really good airspeed here. And I think if I could keep that going, I'd be quite happy. This really doesn't... Oh, GPS mode. Looks like I could tune a VO or track a VOR, but as it goes now, I don't know that really it's doing a whole heck of a lot. I'd take heading mode right now if we had it, but we don't, so that's okay. We're just gonna keep chasing. We do have probably the most important thing right now is a DME and a VOR direction. So 93 miles it is as the crow flies from Miami to Freeport, which of course you probably wouldn't get cleared to do. Need me? Alright, back to business here. Pretty good clouds building up in front of us. I do like the look of those. From a flight standpoint, I don't like the look of it, but from like an artistic standpoint, those are building up and looking pretty good. That looks pretty solid out there. I'm really curious again though to see what does the hurricane look like. Does it model the eye what does it look like? So let's the segment here is saying, let's see, we've got yeah, tropical TC, so it's not even a hurricane yet. Is that tropical? Does TC mean tropical storm? I thought it was a hurricane though. Now maybe I'm not seeing TC right. Dorian. Yeah, so the tops are flight level 500. Oh, that must not be tropical anything. Okay. And that's what we're looking for. I think we are about right here. As soon as we get over, like I say, as soon as we get over Freeport, we're going to head due east at whatever altitude we're at. If we, well, however high we make it, that's what we're going to go into. We got 20, looks like 29 miles or so. Oops, I'm sliding off my track just a little bit. I'm thinking it's semi-windy where I'm at right now, if you can only imagine, and I'm definitely being blown around. Current winds where I am, where the airplane is, yeah, not too bad. 015 at 27, so nothing crazy just yet. Map is showing that we are kind of in between bands of precipitation here, so that's cool. Alright, continuing our climb here. We are losing a little bit of our airspeed, and I guess we could probably go a little bit, increase the throttle a little bit here. Not trying to run this thing wide open. I don't know if I can bring the condition levers back a little bit. Maybe we get some extra power, similar to when you lean an aircraft. I would imagine that works the same with this particular plane. Sorry, let my nose get down just a little bit there. All right. Would be nice if somebody stopped by that had experience with this and let us know what we were doing, but probably not going to be near as much fun. All right, we are 17 miles from Freeport, and we're going to be fairly close. We're not going to be able to see anything, of course, because we got this cloud layer down here below us, but yeah, it's okay. Alright, now we're back on the VOR. Proper course. So let's track that as best we can here until we get another about 14 miles. And then we'll head 090, and we're just gonna, like I say, whatever altitude we're at, we're gonna try to hold that altitude and fly into the storm. Obviously there's no point in trying to top out here. I think this thing climbs up, has a pretty good ceiling, but I don't think it's a 050, so no sense in trying to out climb the storm. Plus that's kind of defeats the point here. Yeah, I don't think any of this stuff back here is modeled, although that, no. Alright. In fact, I think we'll get up to 270, and we'll probably just trim it out right there, because we're within 10 miles. So coming around to 270, we're in it. We're in amongst it. You can see why they like to use these planes for weather purposes, man. There's just a lot of visibility, all kinds of windows that you can look through. Alright. Oops, lost a little bit of altitude, let my nose drop ever so slightly. Starting to feel the bumps a little bit here as well. Obviously having the lightning flashes. 7 miles from Freeport. We're just about to take a look at it here. Maybe. This might be all we see. I don't know. Just trying to get the aircraft trimmed out here as close to 270 as I can. It might be a little bit of a lost cause, but all right, 5 miles to go. Oh, it does look like the VOR needle is moving, so I think maybe we have maybe we're flying over the top of it here. Excuse me. Got to keep that speed up, I think. You know, we don't we're not looking for Mach 2 here or anything, but be nice to have a consistent, you know, probably 210 to 230. Alright, here's what my radar's looking like right now. And we're getting ready to head east. Make that turn. It's not much of a turn here because we were already going 060, so just a slight right turn. Again, we're trying to keep it level and keep that Freeport VOR in the rear view mirror here, just so we know roughly where we're going. Okay, that's about 090. Nose is getting down a little bit here, so let me level that out. Just total instrument flying right now. I have no reference for the horizon in any way other than the gauges in front of me. Let's spin this guy around though. Oh geez, again, use right and left arrow. And we're trying to track the 090 outbound, so yeah, I'm going to continue. It's already banking right just a little bit, so looks like I'm going to need more of about a 080 or potentially even more. Getting very windy here, very hard to keep the nose level. As you can see, the instrument's just dancing up and down the vertical speed indicator just all over the place. Yeah, now we're down, now we're dropping 2,000 feet. It's hard, it's not really showing it in the cockpit per se. You're seeing a little bit of eye movement. You know, if you look down at the yoke, you can see that the head's bobbing a little bit, but based off the instruments there, you can see we're really starting to get into that more severe turbulence. If I see something on the active sky map, by the way, I will make sure that I show you what's going on. I've got it zoomed out about 100 kilometers, just so I can see if I can notice where the eye of the hurricane is. I think this is the initial storm that's just right before we get to. This is what it looks like on Sky Vector. It's a little bit of a, I think we're right in this kind of initial storm here, and then I think it's going to clear a little bit, and then we're going to get into the actual hurricane itself. But we're drifting a little bit south, and we don't want that. Also, our nose is down. We've fallen now down to about 2,000, or excuse me, 25 thousand, and maybe we'll just stay down here. I mean, there's a little bit of a break in the cloud layer. Maybe we'll just come down to 25,000 and see if we can't stay here. I cannot get this thing trimmed out for the life of me. Still holding. Well, no, now we're not. Now we've lost our airspeed. Thought I had turned the pitot heats on. But let's take a look here. Where are you, pitot? Captains, oh, I have not. Those need to be on. I do have engine bleed air valve heat on. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the anti-ice on for the engine as well. Hopefully that'll get our airspeed indicator functioning correctly again here in just a second. Alright, well, we're generally east, generally heading towards the hurricane, and I would say I don't know if I guess this could potentially be just that little outskirt storm, but so far I would say so good. We had kind of fallen a little bit south of where we want to go, and now we're right back in the mess. So we've climbed over 26,000. That's why we try to get it down to. We found a little bit of a layer at 25,000. So I'm actually attempting to hold that as much as possible. There we go. And I am trying to get back on that 090 outbound radio. I'm estimating the eye of the storm right now about another 90 miles east of Freeport. So we are a little over a third of the way there right now. So we could, I'm guessing actually that this weather up ahead of us here, up over the top of us, is actually the outer rings of the hurricane. So now let's not climb. There we go. We got our airspeed back, which is good. Really good airspeed right now, which I think is important. And we're gonna see. See if we can sneak through here and just see what happens. Looking at the weather again, I know it shows the tops, but I don't know that it shows anywhere sort of the layer where it starts. That's what I've been trying to find. Alright, we actually have slid down now to about 22,000, so we're maybe a hair lower than I want to be, but that's okay. Again, this would be, so this is the flight director here. How do I turn on? Whoops, let's not get any further to the right. How do I turn on my heading? How do I turn on my autopilot? Normal heading. There's got to be a switch here that turns the autopilot on somewhere, but boy, for the life of me, I don't know where it is. That's okay. So 52 miles, and again, we're, I think, a little over halfway to the eye of the hurricane. I definitely think we're in the outer rings here. We're going to go ahead and climb back up. I want to just see again if it simulates. So as I'm looking at active sky, there's where we're trying to head. And so I'm going to get back up in the soup a little bit here and see if we punch out, see if we can find the eye. I guess that's the main thing. See if we can find the eye. Consistent trim has been a challenge. It really has. Sliding again. You get to looking at the weather radar and the the other stuff on the other screen, and you kind of get turning where you don't want to be. I think we're generally, though, on an intercept heading for the eye, and right now I think we're just mainly getting rained on. Even the vertical speed indicator has been a little bit more stable here. All right, we're a little past 270. That was kind of our goal altitude, and trying to get it trimmed again. Once we, well, if we find the eye and manage to navigate that successfully, we will turn back around, and actually I'm going to try to skirt the outer edge a little bit, and we're going to try to kind of fly through. We'll go down south here, maybe try to catch the tip of the island here, and then see if we can't shoot this gap back up into Miami. Just make a little circuit. Oops. All right. Doing good though. I mean, the plane is very responsive. It's been fairly stable. I don't know what kind of stresses it's been under, but for the most part, it's held its pitch and attitude pretty well. It is definitely not a fighter jet, which is good. It's just why it does this very, very well, I think, is it's kind of slow to turn and slow to doesn't really yaw a whole lot. closing in. Like I said, we were estimating about 90 miles to the eye, and we're just, it's close to 70 miles here, I think. Yep, 70 miles. Been trying to stay on that generally east heading here as well. Okay. Oh, dang it, we keep sliding just a little bit to the north. It's telling us that we're getting back on that 090 outbound radio, which is good, but as I'm looking at my active sky map, we get too far north. Ooh, hey, are we punching through? Maybe. So I want to know if you can see blue sky. You see the satellite image. So we're not quite there yet, but I think that's the eye right there. But when you see the satellite image, it looks like you ought to be able to see all the way down to the ocean. So you'd think be heading all the way up to the sky as well. I don't know. We'll find out. Find out together. I'm just happy that we haven't been flipped completely upside down at this point. Everything seems to still be functioning very well. Everything is in the green. RPMs are at 100%. They've been at 100%. I don't know how to adjust those. I must not have my throttle quadrant configured like I think I do, but those are things we'll get figured out as we go. All right. Climbing a little higher than I would like, but I think for the most part I'm in the neighborhood and I'll take it. '86. And again, we just kind of keep popping in and out here. I think we're getting close to, according to Active Sky, close to where that eye is. And I don't really have a place I can put that where it's convenient, but that gives you an idea of about where we're at. Oh, there's a pop of lightning. so hard to tell. Is that maybe? Maybe? Man, it's hard to tell. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use the downwind sim stepladder. Yeah, so we have a ton of... it's hard to tell. I don't know how high up you have to climb, but a ton of precipitation to be sure. And we're just about there. We're getting jostled around just a little bit, aren't we? Thinking that might be basically the eye. According to active sky, we're basically hitting the edge of it right now. So I don't know. Maybe we're not high enough up. Maybe we needed to try to get a little higher. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the hammer down and we're going to climb. You don't need to climb at 4,000 feet per minute, but we're going to climb up. Excuse me. I'm going to climb up here and see if that makes a difference. Again, I know we can't get over the top of it. I know. Yeah, the service ceiling is 33,000, so I mean we're not going to be able to get up super high here. But oh, you know what? So we are kind of seeing some blue sky. Can we do have a little bit of a storm below us though? But I think, guys, I think we've kind of found it. I mean, I think this, for the most part, is it. Let's just kind of head a little bit further north. And we're kind of on that south edge here, so we did see some blue sky peeking through at us just a second ago. That was the first blue sky that we've seen to this point. Yeah. Hey. I think we found it. Hey. All right. Very cool. How can we look at it? I think that's it, my friends. And yeah, I'd have to say that's fairly well rendered. And what was our distance? Yeah, about 105, so a little bit off, but not terrible. All right, very cool, very cool. So let's just see if we can find a view here that as soon as I say that we run into clouds. Darn it. That's okay. We were there. All right. Well. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Don't be descending. Holy cow. Easy now. Easy now. Level off. Level off. Alright, so part 2 of the flight now then is to head south and kind of link up down here, whoops, with kind of the edge of the, I don't even know which island this is. So about another 66 miles or so. And then we can turn for home. maybe we can catch a high altitude airway in the meantime. I'll keep looking at that on the other screen while I get turned back, and we'll start heading basically south. See if we can make some kind of a coordinated turn here. Haven't kept it level really the entire flight, so you know, what else is new? I tell you what, I'm excited. I'm excited to find out more about this airplane. You know, I can tell right now it's not going to be the DC-3, but it's got some potential. Kind of feels like a little bit like that freeware Milviz P3D, where there's, you know, not everything that you want is maybe modeled and accessible and easy to get to, but there's enough that that you're going to stay interested. Alright, so there we are. We're heading south. We are going to try to stay below the clouds here, which we kind of have figured out are right about 270. So let's get trimmed out here, and then as that happens on the other side, I'm going to be seeing if I can locate some kind of airway here. What I could do, okay, I'm seeing something. I could tune in Nassau. That's 112.70. Let's do that. 112.70. Let's see if we see if we can tune that in. Does that come alive? Yes, it does. Okay, and that would allow us roughly. Well, I don't have to guess here. I'm just gonna spin it. No, I don't need that turned on. Let's bring the nose down. Let's spin this around until we find our intercept course. Again, we're just hand flying it. We don't know how to use any of the autopilot functions just yet, so we're not worried about it. All right, so basically a 210 heading will get us to Nassau. I don't know how you NASA? It's not NASA, is it? That's in Florida. Nassau. The Bahamas. So that'll take us generally toward the Bahamas. We don't have to go all the way down there though, but that'll at least get us headed in the right direction. Pull that down here, then I'll give you a visual of what I'm thinking. Alright, level off roughly. Okay, so we're heading down here. Whoops. What have I done? I've somehow picked up an arrival on accident. Sometimes it'll do that for you. It'll kind of auto-populate because it thinks you're flying into. Alright, we don't want that, but this is roughly where we're at. We're flying down here, and then I think I'm going to pick up South Bimini, which is the Bimini VOR, which puts us on a Bravo airway, and then we can head straight in to Miami from there. That should at least get us home. So we are going to end up going all the way down that. No, I don't want to do that. That was not what I wanted to do, because I wanted to see if I could potentially shoot the gap here, which, so would that be roughly? How far down would I be? So 63 nautical miles from where I'm at. Oh, now it's populated that arrival in again for me. I don't want you. Don't want that. I want to know. Alright, so this is 32, this is 63, so this is when I'm about 30 miles from the Bahamas there, from Nassau. That's when I will make my break here. So counting down, yep, got about 50 miles to go. Hey, Al South. Yeah, I just kind of had muted it a little while ago. Thanks for checking in. Just kind of been messing around today with the default C-130, and yeah, I didn't really have any ATC, so I was just not really worrying about, you know, how you have the mic on and you can hear every drink of Dr. Pepper and every sneeze and cough, and so I'd had things turned off, but I'll turn her on, man, if you're back. I did have it on a little bit early on, just kind of explaining the mission, and so we're just on our way back to Miami right now. I was just thinking to myself, for the most part, the turbulence right around Miami has been the worst. Everything out offshore here around the hurricane, it's just been more precip than anything else. But yeah, second flight ever in this plane. The first flight was just kind of some pattern work around wherever it is that you spawn when you first turn on P3D. I think it's an Air Force base as well, but it's been fun. Kind of makes me want to look and see if there's a pay-aware version of this airplane. There's a lot of stuff up here that a guy could have some fun learning. You know, fuel systems and, you know, all kinds of good stuff. And then of course, yeah, I'm only scratching the surface on the navigational stuff. Yeah, I mean, it does. It looks like looks like it would keep a guy busy for a while. But I kind of like that stuff. So yeah, 160 miles or so should be probably another, what would that be? Do the math, right? 250 knots. Sorry, the Mrs. First Officer has secured a salad for me for lunch. Trying to coordinate that here, but all right, what did we say? 250, and so that's in knots and that's in miles. So I would guess about 40 minutes or so we'll be back on the ground in Miami, and we'll see. I'm a little rusty, Al South, on my conversion from knots to miles and all that good stuff. Are you? Is the storm hitting your neighborhood yet, Al South? I was thinking about that when I fired up here. Yep, but trying to eat a little healthier today. Yesterday was a travel day, and you know how those are. You just, oh, thanks, dear. Well, okay, start to see some activity tonight. All right, is the hurricane actually, is it tracking toward where you're at, or is it? It looks like it's, from just outside looking in, maybe it's turned and is heading a little further north than maybe they thought it might initially. Not sure if we'll get a direct hit. Yeah, good. Well, yeah. Oh, going west right now. Okay. Well, you'll be in our prayers here, man, and yeah, you take care of yourself down there. Nothing to mess around with. I'll take a blizzard any day of the week. Yeah. All right. Well, one thing, hopefully, though, Al South, is that I'll be able to provide you with some pre-hurricane entertainment because of my lack of autopilot operating knowledge. I'm going to attempt to hand fly an ILS approach into runway 26 left at Miami International. We're currently just tracking direct Dolphin right now. We don't have any ATC because this is an issue. I don't know how to get my transponder. It's right now inoperable, so that's a problem. So I don't know how to squawk anything, but that's okay. It's good practice to hand fly those ILS approaches from time to time. But yep, just kind of seeing some in-between layer stuff right now. Not really a lot of turbulence, not really a lot of wind. Just trying to I've been trying to maintain about the only thing that I have not been able to do. No, now we're getting pushed. Oh boy. Okay, as soon as I said that, now we're starting to get, holy cow. Okay, so we've just hit, I don't know if we've just hit some wind or what, but we are getting, as you can see, we're getting all kinds of tossed around, and I'm fighting with it to see if we can get, oh man, this could end poorly. Yeah, I'm thinking that we must have been just pulled into something right there. Holy cow, that was wild. A little bit stabilizing a little bit here, although I'm pitching up something fierce. Okay, come on, baby, come back down. Holy cow, that was okay. That was I'm assuming wind on one of those outer layers of Dorian. Has to be. Now that I'm stable, let me pull up my map and just see. Yeah, I'm kind of right on the outer ring here, so if I understand correctly, right, the farther outside the ring, the harsher the, is that how it goes out south? Is the farther out, the worse the wind is? Man, that was wild. So I went from, the other part that was bad is I went from 18,000 feet to 10,000 feet in a heartbeat. Wow. I'm still dropping altitude. I'm still having a hard time. Look at my flight director here. Alright, I'm still going down here, guys. What am I doing? Am I upside down? Have I lost complete reference of where I'm at? 3,000, 2,000, well...
Don't sink.
Sorry, guys. Oh, my goodness.
Don't sink.
That was too close. Holy cow. I think I was actually upside down trying to trim the aircraft the wrong direction. Oh my goodness. laugh about it now, but I just about put her nose down. Holy guacamole, that was bad, guys. That was really, really bad. Okay, climb, climb, climb. We don't want to stall out though. Let's get it trimmed. I can only imagine what my trim looks like right now. I mean, wow. Wowie, wow, wow. Okay. Yeah, I think I was actually upside down. And of course, you know, when you're sitting in the sim, you have no sense of that because the blood would be rushing to your head. But I think I actually was trimming myself into the ocean. Just about. Holy cow. Alright, let me just catch my breath here. We are back up to almost 7,000. So we're even below. We had that little in-between layer that we were talking about, in between Hurricane Dorian and the clouds below. Uh-oh. So we're getting back. I'm feeling a little bit of that sideways pull. I kind of think I want to stay out of that. I don't have as much. Last time it sucked me in like that and started tossing me around, I was at 18,000 feet. I had a little bit of margin of error, but holy cow. Part of me wants to get back up above that just so I have some altitude to work with just in case. Well, I must have some serious headwind because look at right now my airspeed is just like 170. We're just going to try to steady climb here. Thanks for the yeah. Would you give that? Sorry, would you give that a you know, a 9.5 on the aerobatics there? Acrobatics. Whoa! I was just talking. I don't know who I was talking to last night, and it's been like a long time since I've had like a successful flight without a crash. So I just about kept that streak going. So I think the last stream I actually put that's on my channel right now, I crashed my Cessna 182 Skylane there at Block Island. That was last Friday? No, Thursday. And then I've had a couple, I've had actually 3 unsuccessful flights in the TriStar since then. One of them was unsuccessful because the flight sim itself locked up and froze and crashed. It wasn't an actual crash, airplane crash. But then the last 2 attempts, well, I wasn't able to get the engine started on one, and then last night I had it all the way out to the hold short point and I had an electrical issue. So like basically the last 4 flights that I've attempted, I've had something catastrophically go wrong to where I wasn't able to complete the flight. So that's kind of bothering me here, and so this would have made 5 for 5. Whew. But we're still going. 130 miles still to go, but we're climbing steadily. We're above 10,000 again. I didn't even have time to throw the landing lights on there. Whoa. Be curious to see the data on that. Man, oh man. All right, well, wow. Wowzy, wowzy. Okay, if we can just get back up in here, I think I'll be happy. Our airspeed is not too bad. We're almost back up to 200, and it appears that we've recovered for the most part. Hopefully there's no damage to any part of the aircraft with all the, you know, the torque that stresses. Almost makes me want to do a replay of that. Just to see what it, maybe I don't want to see it. Alright, so I was just about to check on Al South and said he's doing a little test fly from Tallahassee to Miami. Oh yeah, just to see, yeah, if the ortho, how that's working. Awesome, man. What's your bird of choice today, Al? Alright, getting closer, I think, to being back on that inbound to Miami. Getting ourselves back up 14,600. That feels much, much better. Kind of hear the rain effects here. Nothing really visually on the glass, but you can hear it's hitting the side. All right, 16,000. I think we're gonna kind of level off there. I'd like to get some airspeed built back up again. I feel like we must be fighting a serious headwind, because my airspeed has been consistently up around 250 pretty much the entire time. So let's level out. Let's see if we can't pick up our airspeed again here, and I know we're going to be landing west. That's the general direction of the wind right now. I'm almost, yeah, I'm seeing, really, I'm not seeing much. The wind speed is actually coming from the north, 017 at 21. So, I don't know why we have lost airspeed here. boy. What have I done? I have lost my engines. Alright, well, this is a new development. We're 120 miles offshore here. Not a lot of altitude to mess with. I know there are some islands down below, but if I don't get this thing restarted here, I could be in some serious trouble. And now I'm caught in the wind again, which is even that much more of a challenge. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just flat spinning right here with absolutely zero power. The odds of this going well is not very good. Okay, I'm upside down again. I do know that. I've been here before. I'm still in a flat spin. I do have engines coming back online. The question is, will I be able to do anything before I... Oh boy. Man, I tell you what. We're just having a heck of a time here. Straight up. Come on. You're okay. We got this. Now really going downhill in a hurry. Oh boy, come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Dang it. Oh, blacked out. Yep. Oh, that was interesting. So it actually simulated, I don't know if you saw that, a pilot blackout, which is interesting. Okay, well, we're actually we leveled out about, when I came to, we were level at about 3,000 and climbing. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it trimmed out here before we stall, though. Holy cow. Yeah, absolutely no clue what happened there. But that's twice now that we've just about put it in the drink. Wow. Alright, nose is down again. We're just... If there's got to be some damage to the aircraft at this point in time, which maybe is contributing to the fact that I don't have much control with the pitch. Alright, well, we're bringing it around again, generally west, trying to somehow make our way. But I'm no storm chaser here, and I'm no meteorologist, but it has felt a little bit like each of the last 2 times that's happened that we've almost been pulled in sideways into the storm and then basically flung around until luckily we've managed to recover. This time though, we did it with 0 thrust and no engines, just because the last time wasn't challenging enough. So I thought I would go ahead and add that component. Wow. Well, okay, there you have it. In the meantime, we're 123 miles, and I don't know that there's anything out here that we could phenomenal. We would have we would have had to essentially ditch. What do we have? We do have something here. South, so we have South Beamy, South Bimini 1670 that we could, just out of curiosity, we could tune that, see about how far we are. How far away are we from that? Yeah, see, we're still 60 miles even from that, so we would have just been toast no matter what. Alright, back to Dolphin 1390. We're going to keep that in there. That is our ultimate destination. The ultimate vacation destination. And I'm going to eat some salad. Whoa. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Al. Well, while you were away, not a whole lot happened. Well, there was this one thing. I lost all 4 engines. They stopped. And went into a flat spin, and then actually found out that this aircraft simulates pilot blackout. But the good news is that when I came to, I was fairly level at like 3,000. So yeah, so we're continuing our trek home. And yeah, none the worse for wear, I guess. We're just about back on the VOR even. So Question I had for you before you left, before things, well, yeah, it was beats the alternative, I guess, Al. The question I had before your whatever happened at your place is you said you were in the air heading down there, kind of testing out some new ortho scenery. I was just wondering what aircraft you were using. All right, very good, very good. Yeah, biz jets, man, you gotta love them. All right, well, we're back over 17,000. I'm trying to also eat my salad as I do this, so I'm in and out here. Chuckling at my friend Downwind Sim. I'm going to tell you what, that could potentially be one of the best entrances into a chat window that I've seen in a long time. Everything is free in X-Plane. Hello, sir. Happy Sunday, man. You've missed out on quite a bit today. Unless you've been in the background lurking the whole time, which in that case then you saw everything. So here's what I've been doing today. I'm going to catch Downwind Sim up and anybody else who happens to stop by. So we have, whoops, I gotta turn this guy back on here. We have some activity down here in the Miami, Florida area, as everybody knows. And so I hopped in the C-130, which is, it's the default C-130 that comes with P3D. And I'm kind of liking it, man. It's been a kick in the butt. But anyway, I decided to take a little flight out here and see if we can see the eye of the hurricane, and lo and behold, we were able to do that. We departed Miami, we flew out here to Freeport, tracked the Freeport VOR, and then we flew generally east. Now the storm has moved since I put this up there, but we basically found the eye of the hurricane. We then turned south, down kind of towards Bahama, the Bahamas, I guess, Nassau, however you say that, NASA. And we've been, ever since, just tracking direct back to Dolphin. I think we're kind of in about a third of the way or a fourth of the way back right now. So a pretty straightforward flight plan, to be honest with you, but where it got a little dicey was just a few minutes ago. Well, as we made our turn to the west, and Al South had just joined us, so maybe it's every time somebody new comes on, but as we were heading to the west, we got into some major crosswind. I don't even know what you call it. Just it felt like we were getting sucked into the center of a, you know, vortex there. And we went into a flat spin, and essentially the aircraft was at 18,000 feet, and I just was able to recover it. And you actually can see, I should have marked, I should have time stamped. I may have to make a highlight. It might be my first highlight I've made in like 2 months, but like I skimmed the water almost. It was that close, and it was not purposely planned, but it just happened to work out. So, you know, we recovered, we got back up to altitude, and then later on, probably 15-20 minutes later, I lost all 4 engines, and at the same time kind of got that crosswind deal and went into another flat spin. And this time, not only did I flat spin, but I found out that that this airplane simulates you blacking out. And so yeah, but when I came to, quote unquote, when I regained consciousness, I was more or less level around 3,000 feet. So we survived 2 of those. I did manage to get the engines going again before I blacked out, so that was good. And yeah, I'm gonna have to make a highlight of it. I don't know, we're about, had to be about the 1 hour 30-minute mark. But so I've been trying to steadily regain altitude since I've been down well below 5,000 feet twice now, and I actually was down below 1,000 feet the first time. But other than that, it's been pretty fun. You can see lightning popping a little bit. I was pretty happy with how Active Sky actually rendered the eye of the hurricane. I don't have, you know, anything like Rex or Active Sky Cloud Art, so I was happy with that. But it looks pretty cool. I got a couple of screenshot sort of selfies, if you will, and looking forward to taking a look at those here. But yeah, so typing on the phone kind of rough. Yep, sorry, no problemo. How's camping going? I'm hoping you found yourself a nice lake and tied into a few big trout. Stuff definitely popping and happening down there, no doubt about it. Alright, well, we've regained almost all of our lost altitude, and now we are under 100, actually, wow, almost under 60 miles to go, so I don't want to get any higher. We're just about back on the VOR, Need to do a little bit of adjusting to my camera angles, I can tell. So, about the only thing I haven't been able to do, well, I shouldn't say the only thing. One of the things I have not been able to do very well today has been get this thing trimmed out. I'm going to blame the fact that I'm flying in a hurricane as part of the issue, but can't really say for sure that that's all of it. By the way, I have everything maxed out right now, so but it looks like I've stayed in the limits somehow miraculously. I am going to pull back on the throttle though just a little bit. I want to start to descend here because we are now close to 50 miles out, and I think I've been so worried about being too low. I think now I've got myself up a little too high. Ain't it always the way? Miami is reporting currently winds of 270 at 8. Showers, so no longer thunderstorms, which is good. Rain, so we do have 10 statute miles of visibility, which is good. We are looking at scattered at 4,000, scattered at 2,400, scattered at 10,000, broken at 250. So I think we're going to be good to make our approach into 26 left. We're planning on the ILS 26 left, although really we're just gonna see how well we can hand fly the ILS. It looks to me like it's gonna be, the conditions will be okay for a visual approach if we need it. 26 left, the ILS 26 left. How does it look? Well, let me show you. We have a frequency 109.1. We have an approach course of 27. If we miss the approach, we're going to climb to 8,000 and take a right-hand turn up to 2,000 on a 290 heading and hold at the DHP. That's out here. All right. We'll probably just enter right traffic ourselves, but the official missed approach is climb to 2,000 to DHP and hold. So let's go ahead, even though we're still a little ways out, 40 miles, it's not bad. I'm trying to bring our speed down now a little bit here because we're at that point where we need to make sure that we're not too fast. 109.1. We're getting a few things figured out in this plane. There's a lot of pop-up 2D stuff here too that's a little bit tricky to get used to. And then 272 is the course right about there. I'm thinking we're not picking anything up just yet. Yeah, no DME just yet. So we're going to continue on the inbound here until that comes alive. And in the meantime, we do need to get ourselves down here. Pulling back on the throttle. 240 knots right now. if I have to. Again, no ATC today. It was just a pleasure flight, just an adventure cruise. Plus, I have this whole can't use the transponder thing going on, so decided no ATC on this flight. We're just going to kind of go chase the hurricane, you know? Alright, we are alive, and we are left of where we need to be, so I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to need to bleed some altitude up because we're 27 miles away. So I'm going to make a left-hand 360, and we're just going to let the plane lose a little bit of altitude. I'm getting awfully quick as well because my descent rate has gotten so steep. So I'm going to level out a little bit. I need to get this speed under control first, then descend. So around we go. Let's let the speed come down, and I will toss in maybe a notch of flaps here as well. Not super familiar again with the flight characteristics. I don't know if it's called setting the bar or setting a bad precedence. You've seen how my last several streams have went, and I actually think, Downwind, you made a very, very good point. One of the many times we've talked via Discord about how if you're a sometimes pilot, you're actually more dangerous than just not flying. So sometimes I think that part of the struggle that I have remembering how to start just do simple things like starting the plane, I think that's due to the fact that I keep bouncing around. But you know what, that's just who I am, and I am what I am. But who's not? I mean, if you have a hurricane, right, who's not going to hop in the C-130? Even if you don't know what the heck you're doing. Did I get last night's flight off the ground? Yes, kind of. What I did was, part of the problem with last night was not just my usual ADHD with flight sim, is I also had the Wyoming game going, and so it was like a double dose of attention deficit disorder. So what I did was probably what I should have done to begin with. I turned the computer off. I sat on the edge of my seat and watched Wyoming pull off a huge upset of Missouri. Enjoyed the heck out of that. Went to bed, got a good night's sleep, got up this morning actually, woke up super early, and hopped back in, and everything worked like a charm. So I figured out what I was doing wrong, and I'll be ready to fly the TriStar here in the very near future. But yeah, it was just a bad combination of being super tired from a long day and hopping in with very little preparation time, and then having a college football game going at the same time. It was fun. Yeah, it's fun to do, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the heck out of it. All right, I don't even know what flap speed is, so I'm going to assume that I'm going to assume if I'm down around 230, I can drop the flap. I'm gonna put a notch of flap in. Let's see what happens. Pressure right now, according to Active Sky, it's only 2983 at Miami. So I should have paid attention though when I was in the storm. Dang it. Yeah, well, too late now. Not going back in that thing. That thing chewed me up and spit me out, man. Alright, getting too far away. I gotta turn and head back to the west here. Complete my 360. Down under 18,000, so this will be a lot better. I do have to my initial approach fix out here, Zilby, I need to be above 3,000, so that'll kind of be my goal. I've got a notch of flaps in. I'm basically down to throttle idle. I've sort of flown so far away from the airport now that I've lost the localizer. We'll just keep it coming around. I wanted to get a little bit south anyway because I want to be able to come in and make a kind of a left base, or at least intercept kind of at a left 45. But you know, we're just winging it. It's kind of been the theme of the day, but it's been fun. It's been a kick in the pants. Alright, coming around here. It takes a long time to get this guy spun around, I tell you what. It is a big, heavy, but pretty doggone tough. I put it under some extreme duress today, and of course I don't know what the failures, you know, it's not an A2A aircraft, but if it was, I'm sure I'd be having some report from the mechanic saying you need to fix this and this and this, because we put her in 2 flat spins today, and that can't be good. Alright, there comes the precip again. I can see the blue ocean below us, so that's good. At one point in time downwind, you'll get a kick out of this. I actually was upside down, and I thought I was stable, but I was just upside down, and I was trimming because I was losing altitude, and I was trying to trim to climb, and I was actually trimming the nose that much further down, and yeah, that was a bad combination. What's that? What's the Denzel movie, or the Denzel Washington movie, where he's the pilot and they have problems with the elevator and he ends up flipping it? They're like in a CRJ or something. He ends up flipping it completely upside down and flies it that way and kind of crash lands it. Flight plan, is that what that was? Something like that. It's kind of what it felt like. I was level, I was straight, but I was upside down. I didn't realize it till almost too late. Okay, descending through 9,000. That's good. Time for another bite of salad. Alright, so we're trying to... now I'm gaining altitude again. I don't want to do that. I want to continue the descent here. And try, yeah, Flight. There you go. Pretty good movie. Interesting movie. Had very little to do with aviation. It was more about... Have you seen it yet? I guess I shouldn't give it away, but it was more about the more about the pilot and his kind of personal demons and stuff like that. But overall, an interesting movie. John Goodman was in it as well. Alright, well, I see land. I think we could make land if we needed to. Oh, I see the Miami skyline. So that means we're getting close. Might need to just vector a little bit further here to the north just to make sure we intercept the localizer. I'm going to try to get it down around 3,000. And no idea where, if I'm going to see any kind of a glide slope indicator here somehow. No idea. But I do have the, again, I have the ILS frequency tuned in, and I've got the localizer alive, so we're going to try to fly it in as best we can here. It's a cool plane. Not too bad, not half bad. Looking forward to learning some more about it. Alright, speed 230. I'm going to shallow out the descent a little bit. I'd like to get that down. I'm only guesstimating. I'm going to think about 150 as a ref speed. That's what we're gonna start with anyway. We are on 19 miles. I think I have a notch of flaps in. We're gonna go a second notch here. Okay, I don't know how many notches of flaps we have. That's how little I know about this aircraft, but we're gonna put her down nonetheless here. Picking up a little bit of turbulence now. Alright, there's 3,600. I don't see any kind of glide slope indicator right now, so, but it could be somewhere else. But I'm just kind of looking right here, and I'm not seeing much. I'm going to try to get it leveled out. See if I can find the airport. I think that's it over there. Kind of see it looks like a runway maybe. I need those downwind sim binoculars. That would help. Yeah. Alright. Leveled 3,000. We'll hold it right here until we either till we grab the localizer or maybe that wasn't it. Yeah, we'll keep going. The VORs work perfectly in this, so that's good to know. And that has to be the airport. Okay. We're having a difficult time now maintaining our altitude. We're up and down a little bit here, getting quite bumpy. Oh yeah, I think that's runway 12 right there. So runway 27, and then we got the 26 right and left. Yep, use those binos. I don't even need them, man. I've been in the eye of a hurricane, buddy. Expecting this needle to start moving here anytime. In fact, I'm going to start to anticipate that with how slow this baby is to turn. I don't want to get too crazy here, but alright. About a 330 should be good. Yeah, look at all those cruise ships. That's pretty cool. Got some black scenery areas here. I wonder what's up with that. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Alright, don't climb, don't climb. I am going to put the gear down, though. Just get that extended early so we don't have to worry about it. It doesn't go down very far in this plane, as you know. Alright, it's down. I have the airfield in sight. We are going to shoot the ILS-27 approach as best we can. Yeah, just not seeing a glide slope. That's the only thing that's missing at this point. But we use the poppies, I guess. So let's turn it into way more of a visual approach. I know the visibility in this plane, it's awesome. I mean, it's no wonder they use this plane for doing all this weather research. You can just see everything. All right, there comes our VOR needle. Still no glide slope, but that's okay. We're in business either way. Alright, there's the runway 26 left. We are, for the most part, looks like on the glide slope. I'm guessing that's the outer marker. Yep, outer marker. There's we're at 150 right now. Sorry, 140 right now, and it's feeling pretty stable. So we were shooting for like 150 as our ref speed. So I'm gonna just add a tiny bit of power back in here. Again, I have no idea what it is, but we've got a nice long runway. So if we end up gliding a little bit, so be it. Alright, we're on approach here. Altimeter's set, gears down, flaps are set. I don't have landing lights on right now. I don't believe. Actually, I think I do. I don't think I ever turned them off. Oh, we're getting a little high now. Dang it. So maybe 150 is too quick. Maybe I need to be down more in that 130 range even. Now let's see here. We'll flare it out. Inner marker. Alright, so we're below 130. We're getting there, getting there, getting there. Power off, flare it. Oh, the bouncy bounce. Yeah, we're down. Okay, well. Hose down. Does this thing have beta? It does. Awesome. Alright, that was weird. Weird sound in beta, but okay, well, welcome back to Miami. It was touch and go there for a little while, but we managed to successfully intercept our first hurricane. Oh boy, just about putting this thing on its side on the turn. I was going a little faster than I thought. Yeah, let's just go right in here by the big boys. yeah, but overall, that was fun. Two near crashes, and yes, down one I did survive. So I actually was thinking about this the other night. It's been now each of my last four flights I've had something catastrophic happen. So there was the Block Island, um, there was the Block Island debacle where I crashed after my touch and go, and then there's been three consecutive issues with the TriStar. There's been one where my sim actually froze up on me, and then one where I wasn't able to get the engine started, and then of course last night's where I got all the way out onto the hold short point and had the electrical issue. So it's nice to actually get one back on the ground somewhere without having something interfere with that. Although I will say, having two flat spins and a blackout, not exactly a by the book type of flight, but you know what, at the end of the day we're here, and that's all that matters. Let's see if we can shut these babies down. Yes indeed. I could see myself having a little bit of fun with this plane. That was pretty darn cool. Alright, well, I'm gonna go kind of finish up eating my lunch, and probably there's maybe a nap in my near future here as well, because I am an old man. I need my nap on Sunday, but I might connect with you guys later on. Who knows? But I'll definitely be back on tomorrow night. I'll be doing some Moncton Monday stuff tomorrow night. So if I don't see you until then, you guys take care. I'll watch for you on the TCAS, and we'll see you next time, guys. God bless.